Then you missed one that I deserved a caution on
Oh
for
gosh.
sure on Friday night. I literally had announced it. I don't remember what heat race it was, but I said, and it's the Cottingham Insurance Northwest Tire Caution Play. They'll keep you insured and rolling down the road.
Wow.
I completely messed it up.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Track Packers podcast for episode 5 of season 5. We are back with another week of racing to cover with a full cast. We have Jessup on the pole, followed by John, who is outside, myself, Mason, in the third position, and Becca joining us once again. I'll start with Becca. How are you doing this week?
Good. Last week I was taking care of a sick child. Now I'm taking care of a sick husband. So,
Hey, consistency is key, right?
What? Why do I get blamed for this? I took care of the sick child.
I mean, Mason, it is kind of true here, right? If you think about it from a process of elimination perspective. So Jessup is sick, but Becca is not sick. So it must have been Jessup that took more care of Riley than Becca.
Is that a caution flag on Becca?
I stayed home with her last Wednesday, last Thursday, and then I ran out of sick time because I have a new job. So then Jessup stayed home with her Friday, and he got sick on Sunday night and was out of work on Monday. So,
Yeah.
Yikes. It's a rough week in the Pelkey Palace. Hopefully the sickness bug gets out of there soon. I'll go to your counterpart, Jessup. I know you're sick, but how have you been doing over the last week?
I'm down 8 pounds in 48 hours. I believe that GLP-1 program has nothing on whatever I have right now. And I've managed to believe that I will be down approximately 16 pounds in 4 days.
Well, you're going to have to add some lead to your setup if you're going to get across the scales without getting a trip to the Dairy Queen.
Well, sometimes we just want to finish outside the top 5 so I don't have to get teched.
Oh, that's right, the sixth place
Yes.
finish.
Yep. Yep.
They don't get scaled. So guess what? If any of those top 5 get a DQ, I'm moving on up to the east side.
Good strategy. John, how are you doing?
I am doing quite well, Mason. As you can tell, Jessup and I are in blankets right now.
It's blanket
So
season.
it's blanket season. But also, you know why we're also in blankets? It gets very breezy up here in the front all the time.
It's cold having to break the wind all the time, John.
It is. Yep. Yep. Especially with the winds that North Dakota has been having lately.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we're in blankets. But no, I've been doing quite well, Mason.
Becca, did you have a comment here?
Who is Becca?
Jessup is cold in her house. Wow. It normally
It's not cold. It's just blustery. Usually I have a nice heater in my heated office, which apparently, what are you showing us, Becca? Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's the heater.
Yeah, she took my office, took my setup, took my heater, took my
Plus,
dog.
Jessup, you're already down 8 pounds, so you've got less warmth.
I know. Ah,
I still like to think that our basement is far too cold, and this is a sign that Jessup should just warm it up. And I feel like Mason would agree had
Where's
he
Mason
not
go?
run away.
Mason had to run away because the truth hurt.
Is
I
he
feel
getting a
like
blanket himself?
I feel like Mason would agree with me had he not run away.
Well, this would be a good time to let y'all race fans know and fans of the Track Packers podcast, but we still do have some beanies. So if you want a beanie representing the Track Packer podcast, get a hold of one of us. We have plenty.
John, what should be our next thing? We've got beanies. What's next for us?
Ooh, should we promote the beanies? And maybe we got shirts too, Jessup.
We should get, yes, shirts. We need more.
Shirts. Maybe some big like 5X sweatshirts.
I think that sounds good for Becca.
I was to
I'll
say,
just
I
take
feel
the
like
regular
one
Amazon.
person out of this group would wear that a lot.
Mason.
No.
He'd use that for training. He needs the big parachute to slow him down with his running.
I can't stand oversized clothing. It bugs the heck out of me.
That's why he shops at Baby Gap and buys a size medium.
Yep, medium, and sometimes smalls.
Yeah, well,
Mason, how are you doing?
Mason
I'm
and I
doing
have a lot of
great.
stuff to still fit in them. Why not?
Becca, we didn't ask how you're doing. We're asking Mason.
Yes.
There are
Yeah,
quite
Becca,
a
you've
few
already had your time.
There are quite a few small shirts in my closet that I do still fit comfortably in, which may come out at some point this season. But overall, I'm doing great, trying to manage work and life and everything in between after a very crazy weekend of travel, but a fun weekend. Not as racing intensive as a normal weekend, which is kind of nice, especially this time of year when people and tracks are coming out for the first time and trying to get everything while it's looking the best it's going to. And month of May is crazy, and so just trying to get through it day by day, weekend by weekend. And want to thank all you watchers and listeners of the Track Packers podcast. We greatly appreciate you folks that have been tuning on in. Want to send a few shout outs, including to Travis Tooley, winner a couple weeks ago over in Mandan. Anthony Leake, I believe he is with the Lake of the Woods Speedway up in Kenora, Ontario. And then also Mike Nelson, Kelly Horner, and Jeff Christensen. So a lot of people tuning in the latest episode. So thank you all for tuning in. And if you want to get a shout out, be sure to like or comment on our post. We greatly appreciate seeing who's all tuning in. So what do you say we get the show started with the waving or drop of the green flag and get right into who or what we are repping with Mr. Jessup Pelkey starting us off.
And here's my grand reveal. I'm just throwing a retro shirt of the Sunshine State Modified Tour many years ago, back in 2016. Just a fun little thing to wear. And my hat this year, or tonight, is going to be the Dakota Classic Modified Tour hat from many moons ago, the two-tone with the checkered flag look on there. So, yeah, that's what I'm rocking.
I always really like those hats.
Yeah, they're different. You don't see
They were
many
different.
like that anymore.
You don't see a lot of them like that. Plus, they weren't overly loud. They were loud, but they weren't overly loud.
Yep, I agree.
I agree. I have one of those sitting in my parents' basement, I think is where that hat is. I need to bring that and put it all with my other stash. So, great stuff, Jessup. John, who or what are you repping?
So I was watching Prime this past weekend a little bit because I have Prime Video through Amazon, and they actually had some retro late model races on, which was kind of cool to see. You know, it was basically some of the Lucas Oil events, some of the World of Outlaw events, and they had a lot of Scott Bloomquist on this past weekend, which I thought was kind of cool. So I am actually repping a Ryan Gustin throwback to Scott Bloomquist shirt. So it's got his car in the back. Sorry, I'm not going to turn around since I'm sitting in the chair upstairs. But yeah, it's a really nice shirt. It's really comfortable. I got this in my stash last year when I went a little shirt shopping crazy. So, but no, it was very it's very comfy. It's a very nice throwback scheme to Scott on the back of it, and yeah, it was kind of neat to see some of those the old rewinds from some of the Lucas Oil shows right at the kind of the mid 2010 to to 15 range, which is kind of cool.
I like how Jessup and I had the same look. We were like talking about Scott Blumenquist, and it's like, I have a Ryan Gustin shirt. It's like, wait, huh?
That was a smooth
So,
transition, John.
hey, it was a very smooth
Actually, what
transition,
I'm
and I
wearing.
covered it up quite well
Yeah.
with the throwback scheme to Scott Bloomquist with this shirt design.
Very good. Excellent shirt. We're continuing to go through John's bounty that he got in mine
Oh, we
last
haven't
year.
even hardly touched it. That's the funny
I
part.
I know
So
it's kind
I've
of
been
scary.
saving a lot of these for the upcoming summer season.
Mason, who or what are you representing this week?
So I got three different people, drivers that I'm representing. I think this koozie is Jaden Gannett. I could be wrong on this. I feel like this is from a few years ago. Dug this one out of the stash. He's in a Whistle Street Stock this year. He was recently in the Midwest Modified, so a little nice change up for him. The hat is Andrew Hansen Racing, number 20 Street Stock driver. Just got married to his now wife Megan. Got to go and be the videographer for their wedding, and so that was a fun day all the way over in Iron River, Wisconsin. And he's looking to get his season going. He with planning a wedding and also building a house, he probably won't be out until about mid-June, is what he told me. But he will be out there at some point with a new car as well. And then the shirt is another fellow Wisconsin driver. This is Deegan Guntner. She races a Midwest Mod out of Augusta, Wisconsin. She was one of my guests on one of my interviews last fall, and that's the back of the shirt. So that's who or what I'm repping. Becca, finish off with who or what you are repping.
I went to a meeting tonight and I wanted to stand out in the room, so I wore my Charnetsky shirt from Mod Tour because Mod Tour recently, Dacotah Classic Modified Tour, posted on Facebook this week that they will be opening up registrations real soon, and they even announced someone who is going on tour for the very first time this year. So super exciting things coming down the pipeline for the Dacotah Classic Modified Tour. It is less than 2 months away, which is wild to think about.
Is it Paul Stone and Paul Stone Speedway?
I don't know
Is
if
Paul
Paul
Stone
Yes.
stock car sponsored by Paul
I
Stone
hope he
Chevrolet?
comes. Yep. And then Paul Stone can just be stoned.
He actually just picked up a win this week.
Oh my gosh, I hope Paul Stone does come on tour because I feel like we have to tell him all the Paul Stone references. Not that he watches our podcast or anything. Maybe he does.
Oh,
But
well, Becca, it's going to be a very embarrassing day for you because you're the one that's going to be getting all these references. Because you were the one that night that you were
if
like,
Paul Stone
"Look at
comes
Paul
on
Stone
Mod Tour,
Speedway."
oh boy. But I'm wearing a Cole Charnesky shirt tonight, and I believe it's been a couple years since Cole's been on the Dacotah Classic Modified Tour. I would love to see him come back on tour, whether it's just him racing the mod or him just racing the stock car, because the first and last time that we saw him, he was doing double duty, and that can be a lot of work on any race night, but especially on the Dacotah Classic Modified Tour, where the show moves rather quickly most nights. So, would love to see Cole come back, whether it's in one car or both. But yeah, I'm wearing a Cole Charnesky shirt.
Yeah, and he's been traveling all over the country for racing. I've seen him down in Volusia in February, and he's probably, I don't know exactly what his schedule is. He's kind of just all over the place wherever he can find a big race to go to. So that is it for the Who or What We Are Repping segment, and we will go right into the Hot Sauce Hot Memory Rewind and give a shout out to the 12S IMCA Modified driver, Isaac Hot Sauce Sondrol to Turtle Lake. Raced again this past Sunday up in Nodak, finished in the top 10 in 9th, so still kind of working some things out, trying to get that car set up to his liking. Hopefully we see him in victory lane again this year. Be sure to follow his Facebook page at 12S Racing on Facebook, and stop on down in the pits if you ever get to see Isaac. One of the nicest people to talk to, and they typically have some good sweets and treats at his trailer. Treats? Thanks again, Isaac, for the support on the podcast. Alrighty, Jessup, do you have some stuff lined up for the segment this week?
I do. We're going to do another rapid
photos
round. See if John. We're picking up where we left off last week.
Lightning round.
This is going to be the late models of 2003. So, John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know who this person is. Mason, are you ready?
Sure.
Jake McBurdy?
Nope.
Okay.
Jake Hartung?
Nope. Like I
Jake
said, I don't know
McBurney.
this one. Chucky DeSmith?
I've heard the name.
I have not. So that we'll give him one more little visual here. Chucky.
Why? What? Jake McBurney? What? John?
You know,
Oh, I'm thinking of the 82 mod and stock car driver, aren't I?
Yeah,
So I went that route. I did not go the other route. There's a different McBurney that used to run a 05 back
Okay.
in that area.
I'm giving you a warning with the cautions.
I need to see visual proof on the Western Wanderer page before I believe what John just said.
All right, next one.
Oh, I've seen that late model before.
I have two.
The John Breckel 007 machine.
Is it sponsored by JB Announcing LLC?
Oh, yes.
Johnson's
Oh,
Paint and Repair at www.wictel.com. Parks Inc. and Engen Bro. This is an NLRA late model.
yeah, because I've seen him race at Minot back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Is his first name Jesse?
No.
Dang it.
Oh, I'm trying to
Okay.
think of what his name is because I've seen him race too.
Last name Johnson. This is a
Oh,
very generic name.
Johnny Johnson?
Close.
no.
No.
I have no idea.
This would be Gary Johnson.
I would not have guessed Gary Johnson.
Okay, I wouldn't have guessed Gary either.
I've definitely seen
Ready.
that car though.
This is this could be a questionable one here.
Oh.
That's Cedar Lake Speedway in the background though, isn't it?
That is correct.
Oh, there, I got something right in the photo.
Very good.
Mason, you didn't get the car right though yet.
No, is it Tom Nesbitt?
It is Tom Nesbitt with an off-colored black and yellow
Yeah.
late model here with the Miller Genuine Draft sponsorship. Kind of wild. It's a little
Kind of
different.
interesting.
Yes, exactly. Next one. This guy is very popular. He is going to have a memorial race after him.
Is
Go ahead, Mason.
It's an NLRA.
It's Hankemeyer Mason. What's his
yeah,
name?
Jeff Hankemeyer. I was like, I almost said the wrong one.
Maybe I'm going to take. Sure. I think that's labeled wrong. Interesting. It says
Isn't that John Hankemeyer?
John.
It's John.
Okay.
It's John Hankemeyer. Yeah, because Jeff was the number 4.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one. I don't know who this is.
I don't recognize that
I
car
don't-
either.
I don't recognize that car either.
I'm going to say this is at Cedar Lake, mainly judging off the trees. Don't ask me why, but this is John Van Minsel. And the reason why I say Cedar Lake is because when they had the Masters and the Masters and USA Nationals, they used to pull from all over the place.
That makes sense.
So I'm going to say Cedar Lake. Not sure. Could be wrong. Next one. Don't know this guy either. Oh, it's a really nice looking car.
I'll say it's
Is
nice.
his first name Chad?
No. Starts with a D.
Boy, I'm not sure.
I guess.
This is Dwayne Clark.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have
Out
known
of
that one either.
Morris, Minnesota. I don't know where this one's going to be for looking. I see a 50 in the background, a yellow 50. It says Wild Dung Modified.
I was gonna say it's probably Jeff Wildung if I had to guess.
Okay, we're struggling here. Next one.
Lauren Johnson?
Very good, John.
I was gonna say that looks like a Lauren Johnson car.
Next one. Barry
I don't know.
Underdahl.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Either do I. I wasn't going to recognize. I know this one. This is a nice looking car.
Bill Byholm?
Very good, Mason. The 4B of Billy Byholm.
Mason, now you should get this one right.
You already said his name.
So this is Jeff
This
Hankemeyer.
person will have
Yes.
the memorial race
On Saturday.
at Viking
Yes.
Speedway. This one, I don't have a name for it. They're from Madison. They have a sponsor from Madison, South Dakota.
I don't know that one. Mm-mm.
Lance Haskell?
I don't
I don't know
know.
if he was ever in a late model.
The only sponsor I see is Interlakes stuff. Okay, keep going.
Oh gosh, how many were we doing?
I don't know. I got a handful here. 5, 4. MJ McBride.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yes. All right. This one you should get, John.
Kirchhoffner.
Eddie Kirchhoff.
Yep.
I don't know this one.
Harry Hansen.
Nope.
Really?
Looks like that number 7.
It is a similar 7, wrong color. CC. Chad Cumming.
Okay.
Nope.
We will get through the 7s and then I will stop.
Okay.
All right, 7s. Here we go. This is not.
Is that Harry Hansen?
I'm gonna. Give me 1 second. Maybe it says Harry Hansen, but I don't remember this scheme for Harry.
I wouldn't have guessed it either way.
Okay, moving on to the next person.
It almost looks like a Ricky Weiss car, but I don't think that's Ricky Weiss.
No, that's Mike Saddle.
Very good.
Never seen
I
that.
don't know that one.
Tyler Keeger. I'm assuming that's going to be Cedar Lake as well, judging by the trees.
That's
Ooh.
Joey Peterson, isn't it?
That
Yep.
is Joey Peterson.
Yep.
And last one.
Is that a 7T?
7T. Randy Thomas. I don't know.
Oh! Should have kind of known that one.
And that's all for this week's Rapid Fire portion. Mason, John, what do you guys have?
Okay.
Mason, you go first.
All right, we're starting with the
a
NASCAR
car,
one.
John. This is a car from Mason.
No, it's not a car this time. Who is this
This is
driver?
Rebecca.
I know the answer.
Ryan
Becca and I
Newton.
were discussing this earlier.
I already know who that is, too.
Who is it, John?
So, that's David Stremme.
I'm glad you got it on the first try because it took Becca, Shay, and I like 4 tries before we finally figured out it was Stremme.
Really?
We thought it was Sam Hornish, and then we thought it could be Paul Menard, and then finally we did a Google search and figured out it was Chevy.
How did
Although
you guys stay with it?
I do like the caption here.
Joey Logano without the playoffs.
Just
By
a
the way-
nice little added touch.
Speaking of NASCAR, real quickly, did you see if we were to stop the season now and go straight to the playoffs? Did you see who would be making it in?
Is SVG in
Yes.
now?
SVG
SVG is
16.
in.
Good for him.
Logano's out. Chastain's out.
Yes.
Briscoe's out.
I think that's kind of why the Logano without the playoffs meme came about this week.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
What are you trying to
Mason,
say?
that's Mike Gresseth.
Good job.
That is Mike Gresseth, John.
I did not remember this scheme from Mike Gresseth.
Either did I.
That is one of the Tollicksons. It's, I think, John.
It is not
Okay, so then it's Brady Hansen.
Hagen.
Okay, thank you.
Brady Hagen. Yep. Race is a pure stock now. I figured I was like waiting for someone to say a Tollickson.
What track is that?
This last one? This
Yeah.
one? I believe
would've been-
this is. I
Is that
think
Madison?
This was Madison.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was Madison.
Okay,
Next one.
so Alan Kent's on the high side. I don't know who the 77 is.
Okay, see, I was hoping to have your help on this because I have a guess on who the 77 is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Superman. That's a cool car.
I don't know if this is Tyler Wagner or not.
Maybe?
This is
I'm
a
not
mod
sure.
tour photo from, I think, oh, was it 2011 or 2012 that I grabbed this from?
Didn't Dave Aberly drive a 77 car? I don't think that's him though.
Uh,
Ryan,
So
I
he
don't
was,
think that's him though.
that
yeah.
would be Scott Lawrence in the 77 Superstock.
it's a weird looking super stock, but if anyone has any
Times have
hints on the
changed, mate.
77, please let us know. And last one I got.
Hey, look,
So
Superstock.
that's Corey Tammon on the high side. And that would be the Brower's dad, Jeff Brower.
Very good.
Good work,
Very,
Mason.
very good.
Fortunately,
Gaming
he's
job.
passed.
Unfortunately, Jeff Brower passed away last year, and so
Yeah.
Colton won the national championship in the street stocks in honor of his dad.
He hasn't been out yet this year either.
No, he's getting ready, getting close.
Is he staying with Soda?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'm ready to do mine. I've got four.
Go ahead. Should be able to share.
They're all from 1999.
Darcy Barnstable?
No.
Drat.
1999. Is that the year Sean Strand started racing modifieds in
I was
Mandan?
going to say Strand, but I don't know anybody.
Because in the beginning of his modified career, his mods were pretty plain Jane. But 1999 is long before I started getting involved in dirt track racing. So
That or when did Jason Grimes start racing?
He would have already been racing by this time. Not in the mod yet, though. So this driver is from Arthur, North Dakota.
Bob Sagan.
Yes, it's Big Block Bob Sagan.
I didn't know he went to Wishick.
that's cool.
No, you be quiet, Justin.
Hey, I finally got it.
The Tunner.
Next
Got
photo.
it too. Got it.
Actually, the big block would be a Mandan burger. Big block.
Do
Used
they
to
still
be.
have those?
Nope.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
what track is this, Mason or John?
this is Jamestown, but that's a lot of trees and marshiness in the
What
background.
a beat.
In
know where
over
that
in
is?
turn one and two, because that was off of one and two.
I was going to say that's 1 and 2. You can tell by all the stuff in the background.
That's
Yep.
the bluegrass.
Wow, how things
I
have
don't know who
changed.
this is.
Is this
John.
a road?
1999.
Is this a road hog?
No.
Please tell me that's Critter.
I was going
It
to say
is!
it's Critter. Is it Critter?
Is it a young
It's
Critter?
Critter.
He probably still
it's
had
Critter.
hair.
Chris Ritter.
He probably still had hair at this time.
I saw him with hair this year.
Same.
Yeah.
What are you saying still has hair? Or
Boy, Becca, that's really rude. You called him, you said he just went full on bald.
Well, back in the day, he had a full-on like afro. True story. I saw a
I
picture.
don't think he had an afro, but maybe.
Yes, he shows us pictures.
John, have you ever had a full-on afro?
No. I've had one school photo that I had hair in, and that was kindergarten.
Why isn't that in the throwback?
So,
John had hair. What a wild time to be alive. Anyways, who's the 53, John?
it's a Wissota street stock.
Is this Jamestown?
No, it is not.
Is this the Western Wanderer?
This is Aberdeen.
I was going to say Aberdeen, just because.
This driver has won the stock car Stampede in a different class
Ah,
There's like 50 years of drivers to choose from.
with the same number.
I don't know a bunch of 53s. Ryan Dom?
No,
Who is it, John?
it's Vince Corbett.
I was
Oh,
it up.
Oh,
Vince Corbin was in a street stock before he went to the Midwest Mods when the Midwest Mods started to pick up.
okay.
I'm
Well, taking
sorry.
me a while to get to that 53.
I was not getting that one.
And my final one,
Ooh, a super stock. That would
Uh,
actually look like super stocks.
Larry Lund.
it is.
Good spot, Mason. Good pull.
Yep.
Becca, who do you have for this week's?
I have John's kindergarten picture.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's a good pull.
that would be a really good pull. So that'll do it for the Hot Sauce Hot Memory Rewind this week, and we will move into our Track Packer report for our second fullish weekend of racing. Gotta give a shout out to our newest sponsor, Paul Bunyan Mini Storage out of Bemidji, Minnesota. They have 3 different locations across the Bemidji area where you can store anything as small as just some random storage boxes to a fifth wheel camper, any vehicular storage that you want to take part in. They are climate controlled, all sorts of different size for whatever you may need. You can store it all with Paul. You got to thank Dean Eggebraaten and his whole crew. Dean's getting ready for the racing season, probably starting this weekend, likely over at River Cities. And so nice to see him back out racing and supporting us on the Track Packers. So Paul Bunyan Mini Storage out of Bemidji, thank you for supporting the Track Packers.
You think we can get a quote on how much a storage unit for all of our throwback material would be?
How about all of John's t-shirts?
How about
All of John's bowling balls.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
gosh.
more. John's bowling equipment would take up half a facility.
And
At
his
least.
vacuums that are still in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, no. In the bowling jerseys that I need to get rid of.
You're getting rid of jerseys?
Well, no, Mason. I've ran out of closet space, so I had to take some of them and put them in bags.
Anyways, so the Track Packer report this week, I'll kick it off with my little brief stint over at I-94 because Mother Nature and I had a disagreement.
Yeah, tell us about this, Mason.
Shocked. I am shocked.
What is
Yeah.
this? Race number 2 in week number
Who? Who?
Wow,
This is so far.
he's putting the hurt on the season. 2026 might as well get. We'll just give the red flag to 2026 season. It's not going to happen, guys. There it is. Mason's out there. Go get
I
him,
mean-
Mason.
Just like normal, he shows up at a track and there comes the clouds.
And then when Kayla gets out to start watching races, we'll have to start throwing this one, John.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
it's going to be like a hurricane then, because Hurricane
The
Kayla
thing
will come
will
through
come
and
to a-
monsoon Mason.
Yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
a hurricane outside today, I can tell you
Friday
that.
night, There was literally a hurricane during the Hobby Stock feature, so
Yeah, the season will come
Becca,
to
we
an end.
have to put that in when we talk about the recap at Mandan. That's going to be in the recap at Mandan. Where it
Yeah.
goes from.
gale force winds is what I believe you used.
That's exactly what I used.
So you know what we went through up in Nodak when the sprint cars went out on the track that Sunday.
And just like that, Becca, this is probably where we had Mason within at least a 300-mile radius, and that's why it happened.
It is true.
I think Kayla.
Yes, I would have been about 260-ish miles from...
Yeah, you're in the radius.
According to Wasota, you could probably race that night.
Yeah, that is true. Anyways, the good thing, the one positive was we did get some of the features in over at I-94 during their season opener. Got 3 out of the 6. So they'll be making those up throughout the rest of the season. They actually are making up the late model race when the Challenge Series is there this upcoming week. But they had a really solid field of cars for their first night, 125 total entries, so very solid field. We had highlighted by 23 late models, 17 mods, 30 Midwest mods, 11 streets, 21 Hornets, and 23 Gen X late models. So the 3 features we got in were the street stocks, Midwest mods, and the Gen X late models. Street stocks went clean and green to the finish. Pretty low-key race, especially when you have Kyle Dykhoff and Cole Gressa starting on the front row. It's like, okay, well, whoever gets out in front is going to be tough to pass, and good luck passing those 2. And Kyle Dykhoff got the early lead and never looked back, even going through lap traffic. And so Kyle Dykhoff with another feature win on the season. Then in your Midwest mods, it was a caution vest. They started all of them, or everyone that was able to start the A main. So I think it was like 20 or 29 that ended up starting. Several interesting players in the mix. We had Nate Ranke back after he had surgery on his foot. He broke his foot midsummer last year, so he was out for the last 7 or 8 months. We had Jake Smith in attendance, along with the Bitsons, Corey Stork. So a lot of heavy hitters at the front of the field. And early on, it was Jake Smith that was leading the way and trying to hold off advances from Corey Stork. But then restart after restart, Nate Ranke was making up positions out of the bottom. He got around Smith on one of the mid-race restarts. And then from there, they raced hard. Like, they weren't hitting each other, but they were using every inch and then some. And Nate would end up getting, I believe it's the 3rd year in a row he's won the season over at I-94. So big win for Nate Ranke to basically welcome him back to the dirt track racing family. So that was your Midwest mods and your Gen X late models who have been growing. 23 late models there, so that's nice to see. And they had a little tough time getting going, but then they had a great race up front. Ben Walden, standout in that division, was leading the way, and then Parker Gilbertson kind of used a mid-race restart to come out of nowhere. He whipped to the lead, and from there, he set sail and never looked back. And so Parker Gilbertson gets the opening win in the Gen X late models. Your modifieds got on the track, but then it started to rain a couple laps in, so they were not able to finish their feature along with the Wissota late models and Hornets. So that was your night at I-94 Speedway for their season opener. So meanwhile, taking place across the border, I guess, 260 miles the other direction, was the Dacotah Speedway racing for their second night. Becca, how was Mandan last Friday?
Oh,
Sorry, I was reading.
we lost Becca. Good.
She froze.
It was very windy.
No, oh, shoot.
There's a lot of hot air coming out of the announcer's tower.
Bunch.
And then
There's never hot air coming out of the announcer's tower.
there's inaccurate air.
The Dacotah Speedway was good. Had over 100 race cars check on in for night number 2. Slightly warmer than night number 1, just a smidge. But it was a little bit windier than night 1, and made for some interesting racing on the track, if you ask me, and for the broadcast as well, because I had some technical difficulties during the hobby stock feature when a gale force wind came out of nowhere. Hurricane Kayla must have been nearby, and
She huffed, and she puffed, and she blew our equipment over.
yeah, basically. So at one point,
Yes.
John looks over from announcing, and he can see me standing on one foot, trying to turn the camera as the cars go into corners 1 and 2, and I have my leg up, holding the computer monitor because it was trying to topple over. And during that time, a piece of equipment kind of just got knocked over because of the wind and me trying to save everything, and cords got loose, and so everyone could hear John announcing, but they couldn't see what John was seeing on the track. And so Jessup's phone blew up with messages.
They just had to
phone
use
calls,
their imagination.
text messages, and yes.
They couldn't tell which sponsor was the sponsor of the cautions. Was it Cottingham or was it Northwest Tire?
So yeah, we had a
Did they have a new location?
track, and I
Or
said
are they going down the road?
so I had a sick Riley at the racetrack, and I sent Jessup home with her to put her to bed. And so I was on camera for the features, but first feature of the night was our slingshots. Landon Hallgren was very fast when the green flag waved. What, Jessup?
Oh, I didn't do it.
I saw a yellow flag, and
I just put it down, Becca. The green flag is still going. See, look.
is it okay?
He has it in
No,
the
you know
flag
what?
stand,
Hold on.
in the flag holder.
Just because you want to call me out on yellow, here, take a yellow. You wouldn't know if it was more windy this past week than the first week because you weren't at the track for the racing.
Because that's taking care of our child.
But that's not what I was saying. I said you were not at the track, so you would not know on your potentially false statement. John, send her to the back.
I am in the back.
She's already there.
Who's our sponsor tonight for the caution?
Well, did you guys know that if it's Cottingham Insurance that they have count it, two locations.
I heard it's a new location too.
And it's a new one in Bismarck. In the old Pizza Hut building on State Street.
I mean, to be fair to Becca, the yellow flag kind of waved, and I'm like, what are you waving it for? So,
Bingo. That's what I saw. Anyways,
Well, here, I'll put the green flag in the flag holder.
thank you, John. Appreciate that. As a driver, I wouldn't know if it was still a green flag if it wasn't in the holder. So,
Oh, Jesus. And for that, hold that thought. Hold that thought.
You did a good job keeping a straight face on that because Mason's the one that lost it.
Please leave that in, Mason.
oh gosh,
that was an actual quote by an actual person.
It was.
that's the sad part.
Yeah. So, first feature of the night was our junior slingshot. Landon Hallgren started on the pole and basically ran away with it. However, Hallie Turnbull, all the way from Estevan, Saskatchewan, she drove through the field and got up to the second position. And I think had there been a few more laps, she might have been able to catch and potentially pass Landon Hallgren for the win. But she just came up a few laps short and had to settle for the second position. Caden Davenport, who won the week before, finished third, and Haley Keller and Otto Ryer run up top five. In the Hobbystock feature, that was the feature where we had hurricane force winds because Hurricane Kayla was probably in town. That was a good race with Brody Michelson up front. Not much to say because Brody just kind of drove a really good race with that one. So I was also just not watching because I was also trying to keep the equipment upright. And I failed because Jessup's phone blew up. And then he called me and I couldn't hear him because the legends took the track and he's trying to tell me how to fix things and I couldn't hear it. So I just was like, help me. Anyways,
I believe the terms go to the back of the box.
Couldn't hear that.
Oh, where? The back of the box. What? Where? The back of the box. Where? What box? Go to the back of the box.
So speaking of the legend,
that's totally reminds me of the scene in Twister. It's like, let's go beyond the brush. Beyond what? Beyond what? What brush?
Bearded lady, what? Yeah, so speaking of the legend feature, it was Brandon Anderson and Casey Martin starting on the front row. I don't know what really happened the first few laps. All as I know is the leaders made contact, which sent Brandon Anderson spinning off of corner one, and which brought out the caution. Unfortunately, another driver ran into him. I'm not sure if the brakes didn't work, not sure if he didn't hear something in the receiver, but it was a really, really nasty wreck in corners one and two, which brought out the red flag, which allowed the cars to stop on the track, and I could actually hear Jessup, and he helped me fix the Dacotah Speedway broadcast. But more importantly than that,
fun fact, it wasn't me who fixed it.
No, it wasn't. Got to thank the folks from IMCA TV for doing that. But thankfully, Brendan Anderson and Mike Kraft were okay in that accident. And what's really touching is the racing community really came together for those two drivers. They both, Brandon was a little shook up. They took him to the hospital just for a procedure, just to get him looked at and checked over. The fellow race car drivers, they loaded up his race car for him, and while he was at the hospital, they had family take the race car home for them, and the other guy who was in the wreck, they actually picked up the car the next day and took it to their race shop so they can look over Brandon's car and figure out what needs to be repaired. So even though Brandon is going to take a few weeks off because he's got a pretty nasty concussion, and you can't mess with these things. The people are looking out for him, and he sounds like he might have an offer for a new car if he wants it. So that's good news. If he wants to continue racing, he's got a car available for him if he wants it. So just really touching to see the racing community come together like that in instances, scary moments like that. So that's just really touching. In a scary world where you hear all these negative things, it's good to hear good things like that. So When the race did resume, Donovan Weiss was your leader, and the low line was the fast line around Dacotah Speedway. Everyone just kind of fought to hug the guardrail in that race, but it was Donovan Weiss, who is the master of the low line at Dacotah Speedway. He held off the field and picked up the feature victory in the INX Legend feature race. So moving on to the IMCA stock cars, that was a fun three-car battle up front between Travis Ulmer, who dominated the feature the week before, came up short. So he was picking up where he left off week 2. Brenner Grinstead was up front, battling Travis Ulmer. While those two were battling, it allowed your defending track champion Jeff Hellman to make it a three-car battle. And it was a fun battle to watch. I think it had fans on the edge of their seats watching these guys just flip-flop position and battle hard for the lead. Unfortunately, contact between the leaders sent Brenner Grinstead spinning and collecting Andrew Jokum late in the race. Caution would be charged to Brenner Grinstead. On the restart, it was fun to watch Jeff Hellman and Andrew Jokum battle for the win. Jeff Hellman would hang on to pick up back-to-back victories at the Dacotah Speedway in the IMCA Stock Car division. But in your final race of the night, that would be your IMCA Modifieds. Mark Dahl, a multi-time track champion, led the race early. Marcus Tomlinson, he's got himself a fast hot rod. He's been fast from the get-go. He chased down Mark Dahl, took the lead, but then he had his hands full with a very speedy Logan Schmitz. Ever since Logan hopped into the IMCA Modified division, he's been pretty fast from the get-go, just been coming up short for whatever reason, this or that. But he chased down Marcus Tomlinson and passed him with about 7 laps to go and went on to win his very first Dacotah Speedway victory. Not his first IMCA Modified win by any means, but his first at Dacotah Speedway. And he sounded a little choked up in victory lane. I think that this win kind of means something to him. So he's come close so many times in Mandan. So it was really nice to see him actually pick up the win last Friday night. So that was Mandan in a nutshell. And then when the races ended, the wind died down. And it was a nice night. But everyone had already packed up and left. So I was kind of bummed.
Well, you definitely had an entertaining night, it sounds like, at the Dacotah Speedway. John, did you have any other takeaways from Mandan?
No, Becca covered it really well with the amount of cars that we had, also with the amount of racing. Like Becca said, glad to hear that Brandon Anderson is definitely doing okay after that hard hit in turn 1. And then other than that, yeah, just a good second night overall. And first 2 weeks, we've definitely had to deal with the wind. And it doesn't sound like it's going to be any different this week, Friday. I think we're going to have to deal with the wind again. But overall, we're back at it again this Friday.
There we go. Jessup, any takeaways from the time you were out at the track?
No.
Alrighty.
Becca covered it pretty well.
Alrighty, well, that was Friday night action. Were any of you at a track at all on Saturday?
No track Saturday for me, or Sunday.
You're the only one, Mason. Let's hear it.
Well, I wasn't even at a track on Saturday, so...
No, Sunday.
Gotcha. Sunday did venture down to the Casino Speedway for their season opener on Mother's Day. So happy late Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And they had an earlier start time. They started at 5 o'clock for the month of May, just trying to get ahead on whether it's colder weather and with it being school still in session, just trying to get everyone out of there at a decent time on Sunday, which is greatly appreciated. I actually got back to Fargo about 11 o'clock, so not too bad on a Sunday night.
Nice.
They had their regular divisions with a pretty solid field in most of the classes. The racing was pretty good. The track did latch up towards the end with it being still daytime when they're racing, which is definitely a challenge for a track prep crew. But the track was very smooth, and I mean, the heat races were really good. They had side-by-side battles in all of the classes there. So they definitely have something and a good starting point, I think, for the track this year. And so kicking things off with the street stocks, they had 9 of them in attendance, and at first, it was Jason Marco that looked to run away with the lead from Jaden Bogue, but then Colton Schuler, I'm not sure if this is his first or second time there, but he was driving through the field. He actually made the pass on Marco halfway through, and then Marco kind of turned the wick up just a little bit more and got back around him, and then he had to basically hug that car to the bottom, make sure he didn't make any mistakes, and Jason Marco ends up with the feature win in front of Schuler and Jaden Bogue. In your Midwest Modifieds, another great race. Your front row was Tommy Nichols and Taylor Schmidt, and they were basically side by side duking it out for every single lap of the 20-lap event. Tommy pretty much held serve the entire time. Schmidt got beside him a few times, but Tommy made that car as wide as he could. They raced hard, pretty clean, and Tommy gets the win in the Midwest Mods in front of Schmidt, and Terry Riley in the 69R was in third. Then it was your Gen X late models, and another solid field. They had 15 cars there. At first, it was Alex Shocker and Tyler McFarden leading the charge, and they were kind of using every inch of the racetrack from bottom to top. And the guy, like Friday, kind of came out of nowhere was Parker Gilbertson from the second row. Made a late move on the restart and got out to the front, and from there, he pretty much held serve through all the restarts. Even Trevor Walsh, who started 8th, made a late charge, but could not really stay with him, and so Parker Gilbertson gets another win on the weekend. Walsh in second, McFarlane in third. Modifieds, they just had 6 in attendance, and they went clean and green, and it was Tony Conold from the front row who led every single lap, holding off every single charge for Mike Stearns, and so great start to the year for the 15 of Conold. Late models had a bevy of cautions as well. Mike Stearns starting on the front row, holding off challenges from the likes of Kurt Kranz, Thomas Wisegram, Charlie Olson. He would hang on to get the feature win in front of Wisegram, and Trevor Anderson making a race run up into the top 3. And then finishing off the program was your Wissota Hornets. They had 17 Hornets, so really solid field of Hornets. I remember a couple of years ago they were at 5 or 6, and they've almost tripled. So that's great to see. Yeah, Dylan Terrell and Brett Moffenbauer on the front row. They were duking out for the first few laps, but Jeff Roner, who is probably going to be one of your top runners for the national title again this year, made his way from the 8th starting position and made the pass with just a few laps to go to get the feature win in front of Terrell and Adam Vanderstein to finish out the Sunday night at the Casino Speedway. And that, my friends, is this week's Track Packer Report. So now we look at what's upcoming next for the third weekend of May, starting with the tracks in North Dakota. Mr. Dakota Dirt, what is on the schedule?
Racing.
Good.
Racing on schedule. Well, let's just kick it off with what we usually say about Friday nights. You got 2 tracks to really look at, finally. It's going to be Dacotah Speedway and River City Speedway. So if we break that down, it's more weekly racing at Dacotah Speedway. So moving on to River Cities, they got pretty much everything. This should be their opening week of racing. And they got the 410 Sprints of NOSA, Wissota Late Models, Wissota Street Stock, Wissota Mid Mod, and the Western Renegade Wingless Sprints will be there as well. Moving over to Saturday, it appears to be a test and tune at Jamestown, and that starts at 4 p.m. And then, does that go just to dark, John?
Yeah, it goes to 8 or 9.
Okay. So that's going to be over at Jamestown. Then Devil's Lake is racing. They have the Renegade Wingless Sprints, Wissota Street Stocks, Wissota Mid Mods, and the Pure Stocks over there. And then our friends just north of the border up at the Estevan Motor Speedway will be racing as well. Full docket of classes that they run all the time. So there'll be the mods, stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, and slingshots. Coming back on Sunday on the 17th, Nodak Speedway will be racing. So why not make the trip up to Minot to see IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA Hobbies, and IMCA Sport Compacts. Looking at the opposite end of the state, at the Cheyenne Speedway, season opener, Wissota Mods, Wissota Streets, their Hobbies / Bomber division, along with the Short Tracker / Hornet division, and NX Legends. And that kind of wraps up. Oh, Mason, do you have...
The only thing I would add is that Estevan just posted earlier tonight that they're starting at 5 o'clock local time instead of the 3 o'clock they started last time they raced.
Good ad. But that will wrap up my portion of this week's schedule.
Excellent. So, lot more racing taking place within the state of North Dakota for this weekend. And starting this week, we have some Thursday racing taking place outside the state of North Dakota. Looks like Grand Rapids has a test and tune on Thursday, and Carey Speedway is opening up their season. So, Thursday night's starting to get rolling. Friday the 15th, we have Brown County Speedway with their weekly racing classes. Fiesta City Speedway is racing. They do not have the late models because they will be at the Challenge Series race at I-94 on Friday. But they do have modifieds at their one time that they'll have them all year. So modified drivers go down and support the Fiesta City Speedway this week. The Norman County Raceway is opening up on Friday. A little bit different than their normal. And it's all IMCA classes for the Friday night. So Race Saver Sprints, Hobby Stocks, Sport Mod Stock Cars Modifieds, and NX Legends also running. Princeton Speedway running once again, along with the Red Cedar Speedway on Friday. 16th, we have Cedar Lake running once again. Dakota State Fair Speedway in Huron, their second race of the season. North Central Speedway in Brainerd running. Ogilvie Raceway also running, and then Viking Speedway is opening up their season with the Challenge Series, so that's going to be a big night for them. And then moving on to Sunday the 17th, Casino Speedway with their second race of the season. We have Buffalo River Speedway opening up with Gen X late models along with their regular divisions. They have, looks like we have Wissota Hornets, IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA Hobbies, IMCA Mods, and NX Legends. Granite City Motor Park also running with the Challenge Series, along with Huset's Speedway running their second race of the season. So a lot more racing taking place, quite a few more tracks opening up their season. Hopefully Mother Nature gives us some decent racing weather, whether it's warmer weather or less wind. Any little bit will help, especially this time of year, because Mother Nature's been kind of finicky the last few weeks. So, we will display the white flag and give a shout out to our good friend Brody Carlsrud in the B1 IMCA stock car, who looks like this Friday will kick off his season at the Norman County Raceway, one of his regular tracks. Been chomping at the bit to get his car out on the racetrack, and so hopefully he's able to do that. Be sure to follow his racing page at Brody Carlsrud B1 Racing, as well as his Facebook page for his podcast, The Real Deal with B1. Thank you, Brody, for being a great friend and a great supporter of the Track Packers again this season. So that'll put us with wins of the week. Jessup, who are your wins of the week?
Well, I'm going to start with Christopher Tram picking up the big season opener win down at the Houston Speedways. I think that might be his first win there.
Oh, interesting.
And so that I'll go with that. That was a really interesting top three of drivers. They had Christopher Tram, Riley Goodnow, and one other local youngster, I think. Let me double check that. Then my second one is going to go mainly because I didn't get to follow a lot of racing, so I'll just stick to what I know. Austin McCarl in the big unit getting a pretty good weekend of wins. I think he won with IRA on Friday night, and then he won again on Saturday night over at the Knoxville. So the two big ones there. He was in contention for another win until he got into a wreck over at Huset's, but drove back, I think, into the top, was it 12th or 10th? Needless to say, he had a good weekend on the whole. And then my final win of the week will go over to the Cedar Lake Speedway, and we will go with the Lake Holcomb bus at their annual bus races, where they get more people there to go watch bus racing than they get for the USA Nationals.
It's insane.
I don't know why tracks in the western part of North Dakota don't try to take advantage of that, but I guess I just don't know.
They get a lot of people for their bus races, and even like when they show up to Norman County has bus races, River Cities, and they're always packed with people.
I'll say it this way: I like money. I'm pretty sure promoters like money. Would be foolish not to go after some easy money. Well, I will say it's not easy, but it's a good way to get a bunch of new fans in, or at least a bunch of new people to come to the track at least one night a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't have to be so dependent on the back gate the rest of the year.
It's a very good point. Definitely an idea tracks should really consider. Good set of wins from League Jessup. I'm going to go a little out of order. Becca, you get to go next.
Okay. My first win of the week will go to Logan Schmitz, who picked up the Untitled Modified feature victory over at Dacotah Speedway. This was his very first Dacotah Speedway feature victory after coming so close so many times in the past 3 or 4 years since he made the move up to IMC Modifieds. My second win of the week will go to Marcus Tomlinson, who picked up the modified feature victory over at the Wilson Basin Speedway on Saturday night. He started on the pole, led all 25 laps to win in dominating fashion over Jason Walla. So congratulations to Marcus. I think it was his brother Miles, who Miles is known for just like stat taking. Like he's got all sorts of stats on his phone or computer. So Travis Hagen is the most winning modified driver in the state of North Dakota in the past 10 years. I think the driver who's got the most second place finishes is Marcus Tomlinson. So and it's usually to Travis Hagen. So Travis Hagen was not runner up. That was Jason Walla, but it was good to see Marcus Tomlinson find victory lane this past weekend. He's been pretty darn fast the first 2 weekends out so far in this 2026 season. And then my third one of the week goes to the Tri-County Speedway in Wishick. Their fair board just announced earlier today, or was it yesterday? I forget. But they announced plans to redo their bleachers at the racetrack. And in a world where you see more racetracks closing down or trying to find funds for renovations, Tri-County Speedway is investing in their racetrack and their fairgrounds by putting a whole new bleacher system down at the Tri-County Speedway. And it was needed. Those were old wooden bleachers. And I'm glad that they're putting safety first for the spectators, but also putting money back into the fairgrounds and just freshening up the place down there. So good to see.
That is definitely a good sign. Excellent wins, Becca. John, go ahead with your wins of the week.
Okay, so my first win of the week is going over to a driver that just started racing his season this weekend. And that was Mr. Keith Tourville. Keith never lost a race that he was in this weekend. He won his heat on Friday, won his feature on Friday, won his heat on Saturday, and won the feature in a last quarter pass on Saturday night over at Ogilvie. So congratulations to Keith on a great start to his 2026 campaign. He was one of the front runners in the streets last year, and he's going to be tough to beat again this year. Now, the next win of the week that I have on this is I'm going to give it over to a driver who started very strong in his season so far from the Dacotah Speedway side, and that has been Seth Haukeller. Because Seth won his feature on not this past Friday, but the Friday before. He had to start deep in the field because of the basically redraw for the hobby stocks on Friday night, and he drove it up to battle really hard for second place with Joseph Feist, and he's the current points leader right now on the hobby stocks at Mandan. So very early in the season, but nice to see him having a very nice start to his 2026 campaign. My final one of the week goes over to the World of Outlaws. And I have to give it to Casey Kane for picking up a World of Outlaw feature win, his first one over at Williams Grove. So I watched the highlight reel from both Friday and Saturday night over in Williams Grove, and some pretty good racing from the World of Outlaws this past week over there. And they always put on a really good show with the Pennsylvania posse. So congratulations to Casey on his first World of Outlaw win.
Yep, he was on my list. I kind of floored me that he had not won a World of Outlaw race up to that point, and so that was a great celebration that he had, I'm sure. So for my wins of the week, I'm going to go to I-94 for a couple of them. Nate Reinke gets my first one, just with coming back from foot surgery and injuring his foot midsummer. And it's been a long 8-9 months of recovery, and I know he's been itching to get back behind the wheel, and definitely didn't need much to shake off the rust, as he looked pretty much at home in that 71 machine. So nice to see him back in victory lane his first night out. Parker Gilbertson will get my second one. 2 wins on the weekend, the Gen X late models, and probably one of the sharpest looking rides I've seen this season. That car is very nice and very young. I mean, starting off with 2 feature wins out of the gate, man, he's going to have a really good season if he keeps up at that rate. And then my third win, I'm going to give it to Brady Fossil in the 27 Minnesota Hornet. So he had an interesting weekend. I believe... I can't remember where he finished on Saturday, whether he won an Ogilvy, but he took a trip to the Dairy Queen, as you can see by this little post here. And
no.
Yep, so he took a trip to the Dairy Queen on Saturday, and then on Sunday he ended up in victory lane at the Granite City Motor Park. And so nice finish to the weekend for Brady Fossil, and that was probably one of my favorite Facebook posts of the weekend. And he's off to a good start in his 2026 campaign. So those are our wins of the week. As we close out the show, Max at 2, any latest and greatest paint schemes from anyone?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, I got nothing. Paint schemes. I was more interested in talking about Wishick's new bleachers.
Hey, I mean, it's a good sign when the fair board and are putting money and everything into the track to keep it, or the grounds to keep things going and activity going. I've noticed that with Cheyenne Speedway and, of course, over at Fix It Ford Speedway here in West Fargo. So that's encouraging news. Yeah,
that's really cool.
And I think, when is their first race? They start actually next week, the 21st.
I think it's next week.
Yep.
But they said they might postpone one of the races mid-season related, I think. When they're in the grandstands. So
Gotcha.
One of those.
So it's like a midsummer project?
Yeah, I think so.
I wish they would do is bring back the sauerkraut 500, the year-end race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. The one that was always over the basically the weekend right after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Okay, Mason, paint schemes. I've got a couple.
Go ahead. See how quick I am to bring them up.
The one that I really liked was the throwback to Bobby Labonte with Sean Meyer's late model.
Yes.
That scheme is very nice in that 18X Minnesota late model.
Oh, where did I put it is the question. Oh, no. I don't know where I put it. I will share a picture of it, but it is gorgeous. And of course, he showed up like right as the races were starting, so I didn't see it before he got to like the staging area. And I'm like, wait a second, what?
Oh yeah, I really like that scheme. That scheme is just, it's pretty. It is a really, really, really pretty scheme that he put on that car for this season.
Find it, Mason.
No, I know where I put it.
If you go on Facebook, you can find it pretty quick.
I remember where I put it. I put because he's Nick from Anderson Wabaton, but I kept thinking because he's races mainly in Minnesota, that's a scheme.
Hold on, back up. Who is this?
That's Sean Meyer.
Sean Meyer.
Oh, wow, I like that. That's cool.
I do too.
Good pull. I like that one, John.
It's a really good throwback.
Mm-hmm.
So his throwback scheme on that is really, really nice with the way that everything kind of, stands out on it as well. So, Mason, that's one of them that I liked with his. I do actually, the second one's kind of a throwback too. I kind of like the one for Corey Stork. I don't mind his scheme this year either. I think that's a really nice kind of little bit of a throwback to his dad, but also a little bit of a new flair in there as well.
The thing is bright too in person. Like very, very bright. Yeah, he looked pretty good until he broke with a handful of laps to go. I don't know exactly what broke, but he was looking really good in that feature race. I will share just one of my favorites because there's way too many. I always like Brian Hobbins' schemes, kind of just since he has the number 6 number. One of his favorite drivers is Mark Martin, so he and I kind of have that connection a little bit, and so that's always been one of my favorites. And I really like his scheme this year. Had a little more white to it, along with his traditional red, blue, and black colors, and so that thing looks cool. I think he's setting to open his season next week or this Thursday in Wilmer. This is the plan. Yeah. Any other closing thoughts? Memorial Day weekend's coming up pretty soon too, so that's going to be a real busy weekend for racing.
Yeah.
Yes, Indy 500, Coke 600, a
And,
lot of local
Go back
track specials.
500.
So-
Yeah.
and more tracks are going to be opening up, so
Yeah, it's
There's-
going to be a plethora of tracks that weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing. And there's still one more weekend of May after that, which is kind of weird to kind of picture. This calendar's kind of goofy this year.
We're going to have 5 weeks of weekly racing in May.
Well, it's a time for people to get their stuff ironed out before some of the bigger races happen across the state of North Dakota. I know that, well, of course, the Challenge Series is starting up this weekend, and the Street Stock Tour starts the following weekend. So probably see some people testing out the tracks this weekend to make sure their stuff is in order. So that'll do it for episode 5 of season 5 for the Track Packers podcast. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and let us know your thoughts on racing today. A lot of activity going on in the racing world. Thank you to our sponsors, Paul Bunyan Mini Storage, The Real Deal with B1 Brody, Carlsrud, and Isaac Hot Sauce Sondrol. Hopefully the weather continues to trend for the best, and we will see you out there packing the track.